Good morning, everybody. My name is Suzanne Gelderblom. I'm one of the psychologists at Stabilis Treatment Center, and today I'd like to give you some pointers on how to deal with a relapse. I'm sure a relapse is one of the things that not only the recovering addict, but also the family of the recovering addict fears the most. However, it is a reality and it can easily happen, and I think it is important to know what to do when it does happen. Firstly, I would say seek support. We all know that you can't do this alone. Recovery is a lifelong journey, and a support network is crucial in your recovery and in your success. It's important to not carry this burden alone and to also rid yourself of the burden of guilt and shame. Therefore, I think it's really very important that you try and make contact with your therapist, your psychologist, your social worker at Stabilis as soon as possible once you have relapsed, and also go to your support group meetings and find out how you can uh, just get back on the recovery path and continue with your rehabilitation or your recovery. Secondly, I would say embrace honesty. Be honest with yourself, firstly, and then also with others. It doesn't help to hide this or to burden yourself with so much guilt and shame that it's going to be so difficult for you to get up and fix this. It is important to try and figure out by talking to people, especially your therapist or your support group meetings, and try and figure out what triggered the relapse. Once you can acknowledge the truth, you'll feel relieved and you can start making sense of this and try and understand what caused the relapse. Number three, very important, always take care of yourself. Get enough sleep, eat nutritious meals, and exercise often. An holistic approach to your sobriety is always a good one to take, and a healthier you will be able to feel more in control and make the right decisions, and it would be easier for you to say no to a possible challenge again. So take care of yourself holistically in all areas of life. Sleep hygiene, very important. Eat healthy, exercise, and have a good support system. Number four, give yourself grace. Sobriety, in my opinion, is like climbing a mountain. On your way up, you may slip and fall, but that does not mean that you start at the bottom of the mountain again. You start where you fell, and once you get up, you can continue with your recovery, and you can use the tools that was given to you when you were in rehab to get up again and just continue with your recovery. Very important in this process also to forgive yourself and to recommit to not using substances again, and thereafter you take it day by day. If you're sober for today, wonderful. You restart your commitment for sobriety tomorrow again, and like this you continue day by day. Number five, I think it's important to refocus on your goals. Remind yourself what was the reason why you wanted to become sober in the first place. What were your goals? What were your motivation? So remind yourself. You can even write those down. You can even put it up on a wall or on your fridge, and then look at it on a daily basis, because those things will hopefully motivate you to continue saying no. Lastly, I would say consider rehab in certain situations. If your relapse was an isolated incident, you can likely continue on your journey, which means that if you're able to say no after that once-off insulated incident, isolated incident, then you can continue. Um, Remember what I said earlier on. This is if you have spoken to somebody, if you've um, approached your support network, then great, you can continue with your sobriety and your recovery. However, if you are trapped again in a pattern of relapse, so what I mean by that is you've relapsed, now you are sober for another 2 days after the relapse, then on the third or fourth day you have a drink again or you use again, um, and it continues for maybe 2 days, then you are sober again and clean again for a couple of days, and this pattern or habit continues, then I think you have had a full-blown relapse. And in that regard, it could potentially mean that you are not in control and it is difficult for you to continue your recovery, which means that you've got to consider coming back to rehab, um, and maybe just booking yourself in for a detox. I hope these pointers will help you. If you ever experience a relapse and you feel alone, most important is to remember that you are not alone. Your therapist is here, your support network that should have been in place by the time that you left or completed your program is still there. Um, your family is there, your minister is there. So just reach out, ask for support, and ask for help. Take care. Goodbye.